and welcome to the 10th edition of Marex Maritime News Bulletin. The headlines for Monday, 20th April 2020 are: MASSA and FOSMA suggest setting up airport hubs for global crew transfers. Ship management companies strategize to move crews across Indian territory. Stalwarts share views on the future of the Indian Exim trade growth. And now, the news in detail. Currently, there are about 15,000 Indian seafarers on board about 500 cargo vessels across the globe. These are the seafarers who have completed their job contracts and should have come home by now. But the global lockdown, especially of the national and international airports, have stalled the movement of these seafarers to and from ships. India's leading maritime bodies, MASSA and FOSMA, have urged the Indian government to ensure swift exchange of these seafarers once the leading airports of the country become partially or fully functional after 3rd May. MASSA CEO Captain Shiv Halbe said,
"The next step ought to be the relief of Indian seafarers overseas, because all the ships do not necessarily come to India. And one of the concepts in this regard being developed by the European nations is the hub airport concept. They intend to declare a few airports located strategically and which are quite big as well. And these airports are generally within driving distance of major ports, which are the usual ports of call for the ships. So the airports and the countries will have SOP for incoming passengers as well as for outgoing passengers. And if India is able to develop similar concept with half a dozen major airports located at the metros being designated as hub airports and setting up SOP for incoming passengers, then it will become quite easy to effect the reliefs as well as movement of Indians and foreigners in and out of India.
FOSMA Chairman Captain Naveen Passy too shared his views with Marex.
We at FOSMA are doing everything that is possible. This has been going on for some time now. We are working with national and international governments to make sure that seafarers and the work they do are given the right priority, that they are termed as key workers, and at the time, as early as possible, that they are brought home to their families. Hang in there. You may not be visible to everybody up front, but be assured that you are on the top of our mind in all of the stuff that we do here, and it is our earnest endeavor to bring you home and reunite you with your families as soon as possible.
Once the ongoing lockdown is lifted in the metro cities of India, partially or fully on 3rd May, ship management companies in India will have to transport thousands of Indian seafarers to and from ships across the globe. Seafarers residing in the COVID-19 red zone hotspots may not be permitted interstate or inter-district rail, road and air travel by the local authorities in the near future. What are ship managers doing to make the transit of these seafarers smooth and obstruction-free? Captain Vipin Talwar, Director, OSM Maritime Group, expressed his views on this matter.
We have kept relievers ready, mainly from cities like Mumbai, Chennai, Calcutta, Delhi, etc., so that they can join at short notice and it may not require land or rail travel for them. We have also sent some do's and don'ts to our joiners and off-signers so that they do not carry any infection with them while joining the ship or while coming home.
Captain Rajesh Tandon, former chairman, IMAC, spoke exclusively to Marex.
Several of you have completed your contracts and want to go home to be with your families. Equally, several are sitting at home and wanting to join. The world has seen an unprecedented calamity at the hands of this COVID virus. Travel has been completely restricted. Well, we now hear that the governments are closely looking at relaxing this restriction and the international maritime community has been working very closely with the governments to ensure that seafarers are put on the priority so that they can go back home to be with their families. Protocols and processes are being put into place to convince the governments and reassure them that seafarers do not become inadvertent carriers of the virus.
Captain B.K. Jha, MD, ASM Alliance Management Services and Master of CMMI, also expressed his views to Marex.
However, Director General of Shipping has taken a right step. He has started a system called e-pass under the e-governance of Director General of Shipping website. Seafarers can take the e-pass from there and then travel on the road, and if the plane starts by the air as well. There is a chance that 20th April onwards some domestic flight will start. However, the major flight will start only after the 3rd of May, that including the foreign country.
Escalated tensions and weakness in the global trade due to the trade and tariff war between China and USA and the slowdown of the Indian economy had led to the subdued trade growth till February 2020. Thereafter, Indian economy further decelerated in the last month of the quarter due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The lockdown of the Indian manufacturing units to contain the COVID-19 menace and the onslaught of the pandemic across the globe has stalled the Exim activities in India. Marex spoke to the stalwarts of the Indian logistics industry to get their views on what lies ahead for the Indian economy. President of Association of Multimodal Transport Operators of India, or AMTOI, Mr. Shantanu Bhadkamkar said,
the global economy has been on a slow growth track. Further, it seems many countries have adopted protectionist measures to save jobs in their countries. Even more, we find that global corporations and even small companies, being wary of stretched supply chains, now prefer sourcing closer to the home, or at least closer to the point of sale. We also hear discussion that India could be a preferred alternative location for manufacturing. However, coming to empirical evidence, when we discuss with customers, we don't hear about a surge in orders for exports, not at least in a significant way, nor do we hear about order cancellations. And the same is true about imports. Hence, even if it is not possible to quantitatively predict the growth or decline, we feel that and we hope that even if the economy doesn't increase, even if Exim trade doesn't increase, it will not shrink. Finally, everything depends on our competitiveness and our ability to respond to unexpected events.
Secretary General of Container Freight Station Association of India, Mr. Homage Grover, too shared his views.
What happened was the imports in the month of April kept coming in. They came into the CFSs, but the customers or the importers could not clear same. They are all gathered there. No trucks, factories are closed. Documentation is an issue. Banks LCs are issued, and you have a major problem with surrendering the original BL because the courier service is not working. On the other hand, the exports could not be connected because the factories are shut. So the first few sailings, the imports have come and the exports could not be connected. Now the role is going to be reversed because imports will start drying up. Countries like UK and US and all the European countries are in the thick of pandemic. India is seeing a better position. So this queued up position is going to remain for months and months to come, and probably Since the economy is shuttered, this will see a paradigm shift in the entire global chain, logistics chain.
Captain Prabhat Nigam, founder and president of Maritime Trainers Guild, is pleased to announce the first MTG webinar to be held on Sunday, the 26th April 2020.
Namaste Gurujans and my dear friends. E-learning has been on the anvil for quite some time, and various agencies as well as maritime training institutes have been experimenting with them in its various forms. The current lockdown has provided us a unique opportunity to test the efficacy of this form of knowledge dissemination. The necessity to hold classes remotely has led to several inventions of new tools in learning, and MTG today is poised to explore these learning tools and best practices available worldwide. With this webinar, we intend to discuss and share how to imbibe these tools and best training practices for the development of our own maritime training and education. Please do join us this Sunday on 26th of April at 11 o'clock on Zoom. We'll be seeing you there. Thank you.
The Indian government's COVID-19 contact tracing app, available in 11 languages, Advocacy Setu, recently set a new record of 5 crore downloads within a very short span of time. The app aims to determine the risk based on the user's location and also keeps them informed in case they have crossed path with a positive COVID-19 case within 6 feet of proximity. Our Indian viewers can download this app to do a self-assessment corona infection test. The Maritime Awareness Program Society, MAPS, recently released an AV clip to draw attention to the laudable efforts of seafarers in the face of the COVID-19 global threat. Marex is proud to present this tribute.
Friends, these are unprecedented times. Coronavirus has taken toll of over 100,000 lives within a short period of time. While governments world over are taking all possible actions to find solutions, they are in comfort that our seafarers, our heroes at sea, have kept the global supply chain alive, in spite of increasingly difficult situation for themselves and immense contribution of seafarers to the global trade remains unrecognized. In the current circumstances, it is extremely important for authorities responsible to take immediate steps for easing the movement of seafarers on duty and to save the industry from permanent damage. Through the offices of MAPS, we request the powers in place, such as the Director General of Shipping, the Ministry of Shipping, the Honorable Prime Minister, global shipping organizations to come together and designate the seafarer on duty as a key personnel, thereby enabling them the right and ability for embarkation and disembarkation so as to ensure that the shipping industry globally continues to serve the mankind as it is doing today. MAP Society gratefully acknowledges the efforts of INSA, FOSMA, MASSA, ICCSA, MUI, NUSI, IME, CMMI, IMF, ITF, IMEC, and others in attempting to get relief for the seafarers. Thank you.
Marex Media pays homage to an Indian seafarer, Mr. Andrew Fernandez, who died of the COVID-19 infection in Miami recently. A Mumbai resident, the 48-year-old Fernandez was working aboard an Italian cruise liner as an assistant security officer. May his soul rest in peace. Thank you for watching. Please follow the social distancing norms. Stay at home and stay safe. See you all next Monday.